This is the Friendship Tree. It is highly effective in supporting inclusivity in a grade 6 classroom. Inclusive education builds communities that value, celebrate and respond to diversity. It is underpinned by respectful relationships between learners and school community members, quoted from the 2005 Inclusive Education Statement. The aim of this artifact is to assist students in building a respectful and trusting classroom community and developing a sense of belonging within this community. The Queensland Government's Learning and Wellbeing Framework states that it is critical for a young person's development to feel a sense of belonging at school. The feeling of belonging leads to positive behaviour, improved student attendance and achievement. The Friendship Tree's main message to students is that everybody belongs and deserves to be respected and treated equally in their diverse classroom community. The message aligns with the Melbourne Declaration of Educational Goals because it states that inclusive education means every student is learning and achieving in a safe, supportive, inclusive and disciplined learning environment. The Friendship Tree is most effective when introduced at the start of the school year. Teachers can hand out different coloured paper leaves to the class and have the class write down a few things about themselves. Once everyone has finished writing on their leaves, they can share a little bit about themselves to the class before sticking their leaf on a branch. Barth discusses in his article how to improve student relationships with the school context. He mentioned that giving students opportunities to get to know each other early on in the school year significantly improves relationships and encourages a supportive learning community. This activity will assist teachers in emphasising the diversity in the classroom and how important it is to value and respect that everyone is different. Slee proposed a number of tasks about inclusion in schools, and one main point that the Friendship Tree highlights is the values task. Slee discusses that some students have been undervalued and that every student deserves to be equally valued. The Friendship Tree endorses the value of each student. ACARA is committed to fostering inclusive education and embraces student diversity. It states that all Australian students are entitled to equity and excellence in their education. Tomlinson and Imbu believe that every student is worthy of dignity and respect. The Friendship Tree reflects on all these important principles because it promotes equity between students by uniting them as one big tree. In Bentley Williams' article, it states that one main role of being an inclusive educator is to be critically reflective in your own teaching and planning. After reading this article, I critically reflected on the Friendship Tree, and I believe students can benefit even more if personal student goals are incorporated into the tree. Each term, students can write down some personal goals they would like to achieve on the back of their friendship leaves. Setting personal goals triggers metacognition because students think about what they need to achieve and they become more aware of the learning around them. Donna Charleston's book about student motivation states that goals setting is effective in improving student achievement and motivation. Tailstone describes metacognition as the system that causes students to not only start work but to also finish it at a quality level. Goal setting also relates to Hart's transformability theory. Students who have low expectations of themselves can be influenced by this goal setting component of the Friendship Tree because teachers can influence students to believe they are capable of achieving anything they put their mind to. Teachers can use this extra component to set higher expectations of students and prove that they don't have a fixed ability. The Friendship Tree in itself strengthens student confidence by increasing acceptance and belonging in the classroom community. This artifact will lose effectiveness and relevance if it is not referred back to regularly. Incorporating student goals will keep the Friendship Tree fresh and ongoing because it will stay relatable throughout the year. The Friendship Tree is wonderful because of its flexibility. It can easily be adapted to suit any year level and classroom. The Friendship Tree can be modified to suit the early years by having students draw pictures or having a sentence written with spaces for the students to write single words in. The teacher can also ask each student what their goals for the term are and write them down for them. The greatest part about the Friendship Tree is that teachers can always refer back to its important messages whenever students are disrespectful, unkind, or unfair to each other. Teachers can also use the message to encourage students to work together as a classroom community.